You think you know someone until they completely shatter your world with three simple words. This is the story of Jake and Marcus, two best friends whose friendship turned into something nobody saw coming. Jake had been crushing on his coworker Sarah for months, constantly asking Marcus for dating advice. Marcus always listened, always gave the perfect suggestions, but there was something in his eyes that Jake couldn't quite read. Every time Jake mentioned Sarah, Marcus would get this distant look, like he was somewhere else entirely. The breakthrough came on a rainy Tuesday at their usual coffee shop. Jake was ranting about how Sarah had agreed to go out with him, how nervous he was, how he didn't want to mess it up. Marcus just sat there, stirring his coffee in circles, not saying a word. Then suddenly, Marcus slammed his cup down and said something that made Jake's blood run cold. "I can't do this anymore, Jake. I can't keep pretending to be happy about you dating other people when all I want is you." The coffee shop went silent. Jake felt like the ground had disappeared beneath him. His best friend of 5 years, the guy who helped him through his parents' divorce, who stayed up all night gaming with him, who knew every embarrassing story about him, had just confessed his feelings. But here's where it gets absolutely shocking. Instead of freaking out, instead of running away, Jake felt this overwhelming sense of relief wash over him. Like a puzzle piece had finally clicked into place. He realized that every time he talked about dating girls, he was trying to convince himself more than anyone else. Every relationship felt forced. Every kiss felt like he was acting in a play. Looking at Marcus across that table, with his heart completely exposed, Jake understood why nothing had ever felt right before. Without thinking, Jake reached across the table and grabbed Marcus's hand. The electricity was instant, undeniable, like touching a live wire. "I've been so stupid," Jake whispered. "I've been looking for love in all the wrong places when it was sitting right in front of me this whole time." Marcus's eyes filled with tears, but not sad tears, relieved tears. The kind of tears that come when you've been holding your breath for years and finally get to exhale. They sat there holding hands in that coffee shop, both of them crying, both of them laughing, both of them finally free. The other customers probably thought they were crazy, but they didn't care. They had found something real, something that couldn't be faked or forced. 6 months later, they moved in together. Jake called off his date with Sarah and explained everything. She was surprisingly understanding, even became one of their biggest supporters. Marcus's family took a while to come around, but Jake's unwavering support helped bridge that gap. The most beautiful part of their story isn't just that they found love, it's that they found it in the safest possible place. With someone who already knew all their flaws, all their fears, all their dreams. Someone who had chosen to love them long before romance was even on the table. Today, 3 years later, they're planning their wedding. Jake often jokes that Marcus gave him the worst dating advice on purpose, trying to sabotage his relationships with women. Marcus always denies it, but that mischievous smile tells a different story. Sometimes the greatest love stories start with the words, "I can't do this anymore." Sometimes the person you're meant to be with has been there all along, waiting patiently for you to stop looking everywhere else and finally see what's right in front of you. Love doesn't always announce itself with fireworks and grand gestures. Sometimes it whispers quietly from the friend who's been cheering you on from the sidelines, hoping that someday you'll turn around and cheer for them too.